Hi guys, welcome to Think Real Estate. I'm Sho De Jong, and today I'm so excited about our very special guest. Her name is Samke Mudau. She is a educator by profession. She also does psychrometrics and now have ventured into property investing. So excited to hear her story and share it with you guys. I'm going to give it over to you.
Thank you, Sho. I'm very excited to be in this platform. Yes, I am Samukeliso Mudau. So my profession, I am an educator by profession. I have been teaching for over 12 years. And apart from that, at some point, I left my job. I was like, maybe there's more to life than just teaching. And then I went to do psychometry. So with psychometry, I'm able to do school readiness. Students want to do career guidance, and then students want to do also student subject choice as well. And then I kept pushing myself. I'm like, okay, there's still more to life. Okay, what can I do? Then property came, and then here I am. I am a professional property investor.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I am so excited to hear your journey on this investing venture of yours, because you know what? I think when you reached out to me, you said to me, and in fact, before we get to that, a friend of mine reached out to me and said, I've got a lady, she does real estate and she'd like to start connecting with like-minded people. And that's actually how I met you, which is, it's been amazing. Can you tell our audience how you got into real estate and your journey?
Thank you, Sure. Yes, so I want to take it back to my personal journey on how I started. I wouldn't say I started like 2 years ago. So I bought my first investment property in 2014. Guys, can you believe this? I bought this property in Eastgate. It's a place called Valley. They sell like semi-detached houses, and when the owner wanted to sell, it was a distressed property. I bought the property for $500,000, but I did not go on this deal alone. I thought my sister-in-law was already staying in that place. So what happens is a semi-detached house. It's like a 2-bedroom. There is a lounge, there's a kitchen, but it's divided. So I took my side, which is half of it, and then my property was 250,000. And then my sister-in-law took the other part, which was 250,000. And guys, believe this, my husband and I had been saving, wanted to buy property. And I put in almost half the money that was required. And then the rest I did like installments. And then the property was paid up in less than a year. I was like, wow. But initially, I did not really want to go and stay in that property because I looked at it. I was like, oh, this house is old. This house is ugly. And then, guys, later in the years, I realized that Robert Kiyosaki always speaks about don't always buy luxuries first. Buy those greenhouses, buy 2-3 greenhouses, guys. And then when you buy those greenhouses are actually going to pay for the mansion or for the beautiful house that you want. And then some years down the lane, I started fixing it, renovating it. It was a process. It wasn't like a quick scheme, but property had it like stepped into my mind. Then in 2018, the house was already paid up and they were already tenants, right? And then if you look at the house, it's just a normal house that you find and has a cottage at the back. And then if you are renting it out, inside it's 2 bed, 1 bath, a lounge and a kitchen. Currently I'm renting it out for 5,500, just the main house. And then there's the cottage at the back. The cottage at the back has 2 rooms. There's also a bathroom. They've got their own bathroom, their own kitchen, and it's generating 3.5. So you guys make your calculation, 5.5 plus 3.5, what you get at the end of the month. And that's a property that I do not owe nothing. Then I moved in 2018, I bought another one. I was like, there are these little greenhouses. I can buy so many of them. But because of finances, I wasn't going to like buy. Then I thought to myself, let me pause and see. How do I enter into property investment because there's so much to learn. Then 2018, I went and attended a seminar with M5 Property Addicts. Maybe some of you know about M5. And then that's when I met a guy called TJ. And then I started following him. I followed him on Instagram, Facebook. He had a YouTube. And then at some point I said to myself, okay, now it's 2018. My husband and I want to buy another property. But this time we wanted to buy something that was decent and we wanted to also move in. But we said we want to still buy that greenhouse. We don't want to spend a lot. And believe it, guys, those greenhouses are all over Johannesburg. You just have to look for them. So here I am, 2018. We look for a house, we still look, and then we find another lucrative deal. The property was going for 900, the semi-detached this time, because it was a little bit looking better, which means one side was 450 and the other side was another 450. So this time my sister-in-law was like, oh, guys, I don't have money. You can partner with somebody else. I was like, okay, it's fine. We'll take one side and then the other person will take the other side. And lucky enough, we got that deal. And we also put in almost like half deposit into it. So at the moment, like payments are so low. Like someone will be like, you're living in a 2-bed and you're paying less than 2,000. Is that possible? I'm like, yes, actually it is if you look very well. And then I checked. So here I am, 2018, I'm buying this property. But I'm thinking to myself, how can I make this a profession? How can I move it even further? Because when you have that amount of money, many of us always want to use it only in one deal, but you can use it in many other deals. But I didn't know that, guys, until when I started following TJ. And then 2019, that's now we are in 2021, right? So 2019, I started taking this serious. I started taking it seriously. I followed, I shared videos. I was learning and I was learning, but I was still staying in this house, I'm still paying my bond, which is still even less than what I'm supposed to pay. And then 2020, I found a mentor. I found a coach. At first, when I told people, I'm like, I want to pay someone who can help me in this journey because I really want to go into real estate. I've already got 2 properties. Luckily, the first one I was able to cash at the first time that I bought the property. But now, as I go into the 3rd, 4th property, I want to do it the correct way. I must say I was lucky because I haven't really made mistakes, because many times we make mistakes when you buy property. If you buy property and it's not cash flowing on the first day, then it means you have not made an investment.
That is so powerful. I told you that going with questions and answers, it's difficult because the conversation gets so intimate. Like I have so many more questions to ask you, but I know this is not the last time you're going to come to this platform. So I'm going to touch a little bit on mentors. You spoke a lot about mentors, and something that really stood out for me when you actually, guys, this lady, when she contacted me, she did not have a YouTube channel. And then yesterday, she bravely sent me a YouTube video, which it resonated with me so much because she spoke about education and she spoke about mentors and she spoke about the challenges that women face, you know, especially when you want to do something extra or you're pursuing a career, especially in real estate. And I just felt so excited to get her onto this platform so that she could educate you guys, because I knew she had knowledge in depth. So I wanted you, Samke, to please emphasize on how your mentor added value with regards to where you are now with real estate.
Yes, thank you. So like I was saying, guys, many people say, but why waste money? You can go to YouTube and check and follow people and learn from them. But did you know that YouTube can take you in many directions? You can, if you have a mentor, they package something and then it takes you one step. So with my coach that I have, my property coach, what she does is she breaks it down into modules, and then we'll go into module 1, where you go to learn about how do I find that property, where do I look at, and then you go into module 2, where you go with you now dealing with numbers. Guys, numbers is a big thing. I mean, we don't buy property by emotion. We buy a property using numbers. Don't ever be alarmed by looking at a beautiful house and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy that house. Go home and work out the numbers. If the numbers speak positive, you go for it, you buy it. So my mentor has taken me through all these phases, where we also go into a module where we speak about rental strategies. What is my exit plan? If this doesn't work, what do I do? And then we go into also spaces where we speak about what if the property, you want to flip it, and then the person, you get an investor and the investor doesn't pitch in, what is your exit strategy? So these are things that we talk about. We talk about in eviction as well. How do you evict your tenants? We go big on contracts. You check how your contract goes in and supports your investment, because many times people come in and are like, but why am I supposed to do a contract that is so long? Guys, it's super important. If you are going to be investing in property, you need to do it the right way. If you don't do it the right way, you are going to pay your school fees, and you're going to pay your school fees the other way. So I am paying my school fees in the correct way. If you don't pay your fees, guys, I tell you, you're going to make mistakes. But the most important thing, if you make mistakes, right, you learn from them. Don't back down. Those mistakes, they pave a way. They kind of give you like a navigation. Yes, I've made that mistake. What am I going to do? What did I take from there? Don't ever back down if you make a mistake. And even myself, I'm not saying I'm not going to make a mistake, but I'm saying that lay the right foundation. If you put your mind into the right foundation, you get yourself a right coach, then you are going to be successful in this journey. I can tell you right now, I started my coaching in 2020 in August. Since I have been with my coach, I have learned so much, guys. I am that person who, like shared with you guys, that I started my YouTube yesterday. Can you believe it?
I'm absolutely mind blown by your energy and your passion. And, you know, that's why I'm so drawn to you, because that's the kind of energy I'm looking for, because that's what I want. And that's what I think about when I think about real estate. So I think you've learned a lot from your mentor. And I will go back and say, when you spoke about reading, and I know that when I was introduced to real estate, this is me just adding a little bit on the mentor side. When I got into real estate, I focused a lot on people that I was going to, you know, that I looked up to. So it was my Ryan Serhant, it was my Dan Locke that spoke to me about entrepreneurs and innovating within the business, you know. And then of course, then I approached our principal, and it was like, you know, so now you're getting there, you know. And I think, you know, listening to what you're saying and investing in yourself, we cannot elaborate more on that. Do you agree?
I do.
So Samke, things has been tight for everyone in 2020. There was a lot of things happening with COVID coming through. And I'm sure that this must have affected you in some way, or your tenants in some way. How did you deal with this? And what were the obstacles that you faced, and how did you remedy it?
Okay. Right. 2020 has been very challenging, I must say. So being a person that is new into this, I'm that person who makes connections. So with my tenants, it's not like people that I have no relationship with. So we speak about things, they know what's happening. So what I normally do, because I've had my tenants for like 5 years, They haven't moved. They've stayed with me. Reason being, I'm that person who goes in, check on them. Sometimes I'll go to Woolies, buy a cake, and then bring it to them, and then, build that relationship, right? I'm not buying that cake so that the kids can just only enjoy, but I'm building a good relationships. And then even the neighbors, sometimes I'll buy like cupcakes, I give them. What am I doing? I'm building a relationship. Should something happen in my property, I have my neighbors back. They will tell me that, I think there's something that's not going right. So having built that relationship with them, I've been able to say, when things were going tough, they came to me, they were like, can we make an exit plan? At this point, can we pay like half? The only person that were affected were the people that were renting from outside. The one that were renting the main house, they were still paying my rent. So the ones that were staying outside, they said, can we just pay half? And then when we go back to work, we can work a plan in terms of how can we catch up on the rent. Then I was like, I'm being human. Yes, we can work out a plan. For as long as you sign a contract that within this period, you not move to another place, then the deal is open. That's how I navigated myself.
I think that's a very good approach. In fact, I had a video recording about building sustainable relationships because that's all we need when we're in this industry. It's all about relationships. So I think that was a very good remedy. But here's a question I have for you. And I think this is for every person out there. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What do you look at achieving, especially in terms of real estate? Have you already, jotted down that vision board about what you want to achieve in the next 5 years?
Yes. So finally at work, they always ask me, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Then I'll be like, actually, I'm only giving the company only 3 years. And then 3 years, I'm out of here.
I like that.
Because why? I have always envisioned that I do not want to work past a certain age. I know that I'm that person who's like, I want to retire while I'm still young. I want to retire before I turn 40 years old. So that's part of my vision. So in the next 3 years, I've told myself, I want to try and buy. So what I'm doing every day now, I make sure that I have a day, I check 20 deals on Property 24 a day. So giving myself that I buy at least one property in 3 months. Every 3 months, I buy one property, which means by the end of the year, I've got 4 properties. So if my goal in the next 3 years, I bought a property in each of those years that I'm starting, this is 2021. By the end of 2023, I'm having like 12 properties under my name, and I'm able to replace my salary. Then I'm like, I don't want to be working full time, but I want to continue property investing, educating others. That's where I'm passionate about. Writing, doing my YouTube videos, doing a podcast. That's where I'm seeing myself. That's where my 3 to 5 years is going from now.
Okay, I am so happy you joined me for this session. And I think I'm going to second you on that podcast because that's what I am definitely looking at doing. And most importantly, I just want to say to you that if you keep this drive and this motivation and, you know, everything that you've actually given our audience today, for me, I've learned so much from you today. So I'm really excited. I'm so excited to see more of your videos. So guys, please see in the comments below. I will definitely leave Samke's information at the bottom. Follow her. She is amazing. She's passionate and she's a go-getter, as you can see. I'm excited to have you back here because I have a lot more questions and I know that we are pressed for time. So hopefully you come back again and do this with me.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is Think Real Estate. We are excited to bring you information that is valuable and educate individuals who do not know much about investing and property. So Shemke, before I log off, I just want to find
Yes.
out in this 3 years that you are, your plan that you have set, Are you looking at doing property management for yourself as well?
As my portfolio grows, I am not going to do it myself. I'm going to move into a company that does property management.
I like the sound
But
of that,
for
Shelly.
now, for now, I'm doing it myself.
Okay, well, that's awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. This is it from us. We hope to see you soon. Thank you again. Lots of love. Be safe. I'll speak to you guys soon.